everyone, I'm Fiona Davis, the author of The Dollhouse, and I'm thrilled and honored to be able to share my book with the First Flights program on Early Word. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how the book came about. A couple of years ago, I was looking for a new apartment here in New York City where I live, and my broker took me to a condo in the building that used to house the Barbizon Hotel for women. Now, the Barbizon Hotel was founded in 1927 as the go-to residence for cultured young ladies to stay while they studied or worked in New York City. It had 700 rooms spread out over 23 stories, and it was kind of a refuge where men weren't allowed beyond the public areas, and even the elevator operators were female. And dozens of icons lived in the building at one time or another, including writers like Eudora Welty, Joan Didion, Sylvia Plath, as well as up-and-coming actresses like Grace Kelly, Lauren Bacall, and Joan Crawford. The list just goes on and on. Now, during my tour, I was told that a dozen or so of the old-time residents, who'd been there since it was a hotel, had been grandfathered into rent-controlled apartments on the 4th floor when the building went condo. And I thought, wow, that's a great setup for a novel. As part of my research, I headed to the Barnard College Library here on Broadway, and I poured through back issues of women's magazines from the early 1950s, which is when I wanted to set it. And they were amazing, the photos and the illustrations. But what really intrigued me were the articles, because they offered conflicting messages. Like there was one from 1951 that talked about the best part-time jobs for women because working full-time cuts too deeply into the satisfactions of housekeeping. I know, right? So for the book, I created 2 characters and 2 timelines. There's Darby, who moves into the Barbizon in 1952. She comes to New York determined to do well at secretarial school and never marry. And Rose, who moves into the condo in 2016 and finds herself in kind of a precarious position when the man she'd grown to depend upon is no longer there for her. The main crux of the book was figuring out how 2 very different generations of women could challenge each other's assumptions and beliefs. The book was just a joy to write, and I'm so excited about sharing it with you. So thank you again, and I look forward to our live chat on July 13th.